I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours.
So dads, are you ready to bonk me?
Yes!
I am one lucky girl.
101 guys down. Guys 1, Lily 0.
Just thought I'd show you my face before I take 300 loads. Spend 2 minutes with me alone or double it and pass it to your friends.
Alone.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do to me in that 2 minutes?
Well, you're about to find out.
Okay, this is the day after I have just done the massive train of over 1,000 men.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Toni Bryanne. In today's video, we'll be discussing why OnlyFans models should be canceled. Now, that is a heavy loaded title, but if you guys keep on watching, I'll explain exactly why I have those beliefs. But before we get into today's video, you guys know I like to start every video with a little bit of positivity. So first, let's start off with the quote of the day. Today's quote of the day is, "I am able to achieve anything that I set my mind to." Today's verse of the day is Matthew chapter 5, verse 14, and it reads, "You are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden." And without further ado, you guys, let's get straight into today's video. Taking you in this moment. In a world where traditional jobs are becoming less and less enough to survive off of, OnlyFans has become a lifeline for many. But is this platform as empowering as it portrays itself to be? Or is there a more sinister motive behind the platform? And that is what we're going to discuss in today's video. But of course, y'all know I always like to start off with the origin. Where did OnlyFans come from? Where did it gain its popularity? And why is it so popular today? So OnlyFans first launched back in 2016 as a subscription platform where creators could share exclusive content directly with their fans. However, it did not become popular until 4 years later in 2020. The pandemic that we had back in the day accelerated the platform's growth due to people losing their jobs, not making enough income, or just being bored and deciding to turn to digital platforms to make money. Between 2019 and 2020 alone, the number of registered OnlyFans users increased by over 500%. And if you're looking for a more exact number, there were about 85 million, yes, 85 million OnlyFans users by the end of 2020, which was a significant increase from when they first launched back in 2016. So what was the appeal of OnlyFans? Why were so many people making accounts aside from just money? Well, for one, it is incredibly accessible. Anybody can go on OnlyFans and make their own account. So it's not something that you exactly have to think about or something that you need to invest in before creating an account, which made more people prompted to go ahead and make one. Then, of course, like I said earlier, for money, but the best part about OnlyFans was that OnlyFans wasn't predatory towards their creators. Creators were able to keep a large chunk of their income that they made off of the platform, and they didn't have to pay some monthly fee in order to keep their platform. All they had to do was make money, and if they did make any money, they had to give OnlyFans a percentage, so nothing was necessarily coming out of their pockets. And although OnlyFans is mostly known for their sexual content, OnlyFans is pretty diverse. It's not just sex work that is on that platform. You can post cooking videos, you can post tutorials, you have fitness instructors up there, chefs, musicians, so many variety of different people and creators on the platform. But of course got more popularized due to the increase of sex workers, or should I say smex workers, going on the platform. But I know you guys aren't here for all cupcakes and rainbows. You guys want to know how the heck is OnlyFans problematic? Though I'm sure a large chunk of my following already has their own beliefs as to why they believe OnlyFans to be problematic. But we're about to break it down in one simple word: predatory. Before we get into the next talking point, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Hungry Root. Let me tell you, meal planning, grocery shopping, and trying to eat healthy, it used to stress me out. Between balancing work, errands, and everything else and in between, I barely had time to figure out what to eat, let alone actually cook it. But that all changed when I discovered Hungry Root. Hungry Root is like having my own personal shopper and nutritionist. They take care of everything: weekly meal planning, grocery shopping, even recommending healthy groceries and recipes that are are tailored just for me. I mean, look at this box. Fresh produce, protein-packed snacks, and even fun recipes I can make in 15 minutes or less. Who doesn't want that? They even cater to specific dietary needs like gluten-free, dairy-free, or high-protein options, which makes it so easy to stay on track with my health goals. Plus, all their food is free from artificial sweeteners, preservatives, and other stuff you don't want in your meals. Honestly, Hungry Root has taken all the guesswork out of eating healthy. I tell them my preferences and they fill my cart with everything I need. It even gets smarter over time, so it's like they know me better than I know myself. So if you've been looking for a way to make eating healthy, stress-free, and fun, now's the time to try Hungry Root. Take advantage of this exclusive deal. For a limited time, you can get 40% off your first Hungry Root box, plus a free item in every box for life. Just click the link down below or go to hungryroot.com and use code TONIB. That's 40% off and free goodies for life. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. Hungry Root seriously made my life way easier, and I know it can for you too. Don't miss out on this offer. Thank you so much, Hungry Root, for sponsoring this segment of today's video. Now let's get back into the video. OnlyFans has become incredibly predatory in terms of these SMEX workers on the platform. And if you guys don't know why I'm saying SMEX, it's because I'm not trying to get demonetized, okay, or get flagged here. I'm trying to give y'all the facts without me getting in trouble. But yes, these SMEX work creators on OnlyFans have done more and more in order to gain attention, which means gain revenue through their platform on OnlyFans. And I'm going to give you guys a few examples, and then I'm going to give you guys a few creators that are doing some of these predatory behaviors. So let's first start off with them creating public scenes. And I think you guys already know what I'm talking about without having to say the word between public and scenes. There's this ongoing joke that when you're scrolling through X, I can't call it X, okay. I'm gonna have to call it Twitter, so y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't call it X, I keep getting distracted. My brain is like, what are you talking about? But I'll just be scrolling down Twitter and then I will see some of the most crazy things on my timeline because Twitter has no parameters when it comes to any type of censorship. They post anything, hence why a lot of the OnlyFans models will promote their OnlyFans through Twitter. But yes, I'll be scrolling down, and one video that I saw that literally shocked me was when some SMEX workers were on the platform promoting them doing like this game where they were doing certain things to one another, and it was in a public garage. I thought that was absolutely insane and absolutely predatory, because imagine if a child walked in while they were doing this content. Now, obviously I cannot show you guys the content, but I was like, you guys comfortably do this and you guys think that this is okay because you're just trying to get more people to go into your OnlyFans? That is not okay, and that should get you registered as a sex offender. Another type of video I've seen is when people are doing things outside in parks. I've seen people create content in their cars while they're parked in a parking lot. Like, I just think that is absolutely crude and insane. Now, you guys already know I have very mixed reviews from my viewers when I say this exact thing that I'm about to say, is that I personally don't care what you choose and decide to do with your body. If you choose to plaster online and that is what is paying the bills at home, do what you gotta do. That's not my business. That's between you and God. I know some people or Christians feel as if you need to openly and proudly denounce the fact that work is not okay, but I know how tough this economy can be, and though I would personally never want to make any form of content in that regard online, I'm not going to judge somebody else for doing what they have to do in order to survive. Once again, I'm not God, I'm not a prophet, so it is not my business. But my problem is when you decide to do this stuff outside. It is completely different when you're in the privacy of your own home, if you're in a studio, if you're at somebody else's home, but outside it's just absolutely ludicrous. For one, in many countries that is indeed against the law, and you can get in big trouble for doing those things, especially in a park. This would be considered public indecency, so that's if you go outside streaking. I know in New York it is illegal, so you're not allowed to do that, and you shouldn't want to do that. I don't know why you'd think that was okay. And these things result in fines, arrests, or legal records for these creators to end up having to live with for the rest of their lives. And we're actually later going to be discussing one creator that was planning on doing something on her account that was illegal in her country and got her into trouble. It wasn't exactly public, or we don't know if she was going to make this public or not, but we knew that she was going to make the content to post online, and it was against the law in her country. So now she's in trouble for wanting to do something that was absolutely crazy because she wanted clout online. So the next concept I'm going to be discussing of the predatory behaviors of OnlyFans models is when they decide to prey after young boys and young girls. So there's this concept of when you turn 18, you're a legal adult, which is true in many countries, is. I think all countries, right? 18 is the legal age, but at least in America, it is the legal age. So some creators will take it upon themselves to proudly and boldly state that they like to deal with barely legal people. And barely legal people are people that just turned 18, aka fresh out of high school 9 out of 10 times.
Okay, so I've been so busy bunking students.
I'm gonna be sleeping with 23 barely legal 18-year-olds. Is that real or what?
And honestly, we can all easily judge just the OnlyFans models to this trope. However, it is the viewers that like this form of content, which is encouraging the OnlyFans models to create this content. So the fetishization, I always say this wrong, the fetishization of the youth and someone turning 18 encourages a lot of these OnlyFans models to act or behave as if they are indeed 18 or children. So this revolves around them wearing pigtails, having braces, wearing schoolgirl outfits, wearing little baby tees or graphic tees that children wear, because they know that a lot of people that choose to watch OnlyFans content love this form of content. So I discussed the concept of infantilization in a few videos ago. I don't remember what video it was. I actually think it had to do with a video on Smex's work that I did about a year ago. But if you guys don't know what infantilization is when adults, typically women, present themselves in ways that mimic children through clothing, makeup, or behavior. So that is when a creator decides to talk like a little girl and sound so innocent. Or once again, wearing the pigtails, the schoolgirl outfits, the little baby pajamas, licking a lollipop, just trying to act like a child in order to entice their viewers. Content like this encourages the unhealthy power dynamics that is portrayed in Smex's work. It's the grown woman or the grown man telling the younger person, the fresh 18-year-old, what to do and how to do it because they're so inexperienced. This dynamic that is displayed in OnlyFans content can be very unhealthy for younger people who are watching this content because it leads them to have an unhealthy relationship with sex or an unhealthy idea of what should be. And with the entire trope of turning 18, I want to discuss some of these people, mostly young girls, who get encouraged and pushed to create OnlyFans content once they turn 18. You have creators like Alabama Barker. We have creators like Bad Baby, who literally did it. Danielle Bergoli, known as Bad Baby, who was the girl that said, "Catch me outside, how about that?" on the Dr. Phil show when she was like 13 or 14, I believe. When she turned 18 back in 2021, she decided to start an OnlyFans account because so many people were encouraging her to do so. So in her doing so, she made $1 million in 6 hours from her OnlyFans account. But let's just say thousands of most likely men decided to subscribe to a girl that was just 17 a day before's OnlyFans account because they were waiting on her to turn 18 to see very intimate photos of her. Now, I'm not calling Bad Baby predatory by any means. I think she decided to flip the narrative and use her power by taking money from these creepy men that were willing to spend it, but it still shows how predatory this platform can be. Now let's discuss the Bop House, okay? So the Bop House is a creator house with a bunch of OnlyFans models all living in one house and creating content together. They do this most likely because they're trying to diversify their audience. So like if I have 1 million followers and you have 1 million followers, most likely we have different followings. So then if we come together, we can get followers from both sides, which means more money, more content, and more opportunities. So the Bop House features creators Aisha Sophie, a girl named Summer, another girl named Julia Filippo, someone else named Alina Rose, Camilla Arujo, once again, I hope I'm pronouncing that last name correctly, and then Sophie Rain. So if you guys look at all of these creators in the Bop House, they all look how old to you? Most likely, just like me, you guys think that they look very, very, very young. These girls have braces, they dress young, they look young, and it is very, very clear that they are advertising and promoting themselves to a certain audience. And that audience is most likely the men that like girls that look or appear to be younger. So there was actually a video that they made on the Bop House page, or I think it was on the girl Camilla's page, but she made a video discussing how much each of the girls in the house made. And when you hear these numbers, you will be appalled just like me. These girls are making bank. Take a look at this.
All right, how much did you make last month?
6 million.
All right, next person. That was underwhelming. Aisha, how much did you make last month?
Like around 2.5 mil.
How much did you make last month?
1 million.
Okay, how much did you make last month?
I just made 100K last month. Yes!
Yay! How much did you make last month? $600? Okay.
So the one that made the most, Sophie Rain, she has allegedly made $43.4 million in 1 year off of OnlyFans. And that is most likely due to her childlike appearance. And that is what's getting all those people to subscribe to her content and even ask for personalized exclusive content. Though, once again, this is not necessarily our business. I get it. But when creators like Sophie choose to make content like this, if she is indeed trying to infantilize herself, this incentives other creators to do exactly what she is allegedly or could possibly be doing, which is dressing like a child, behaving like a child, which is her just acting very quiet and innocent. I don't know if this is an act or if this is who she really is, but it does give off childlike mannerisms. And it further encourages the exploitation of childlike and youth-like appearances. Not only is Sophie encouraging other OnlyFans content creators, her content or even the entire concept of the Bop House is encouraging other young girls to want to join the Bop House because they see how much money these girls are making. A young girl by the name of Piper Raquel has seemingly showed some interest in wanting to join the Bop House, and Piper is only 17 years old right now. And then Piper looks super young too, so I know for a fact she's going to profit very well off of her looks. And the people in the Bop House have encouraged girls like Piper to join the Bop House once she hits 18.
Every day on this app, I learn something against my will. And today, that thing was the Bop House. Now, I do not need to tell you why something called the Bop House is devastating to feminism, but I do want to bring to light what I think is the most disturbing aspect of it. I sacrificed my sanity to go over to their TikTok page and have a look. And in their most recent video, they are advertising for a new girl or a new couple of girls. Now, I looked at the comments, and unsurprisingly, there are lots of people tagging creators, but the one I saw the most is a 17-year-old. A 17-year-old girl. There were a lot of other suggestions. No one above the age of 23, I believe, which is disturbing still. But a 17-year-old girl was the most requested creator to join the Bop House. In my opinion, that shouldn't be allowed by TikTok. I don't know why TikTok is facilitating a situation where a 17-year-old girl could be asked to join something called the Bop House, which is a house full of OF creators. I think it's disgusting and disturbing. Without that aspect of it, without that added aspect of them wanting people wanting a 17-year-old to join, it in itself, the Bop House in itself, is horrendous.
I don't care how much y'all want to try and act like 18 is grown. 18 is not close to grown. 18 is still very, very young. So you are very much so able to be manipulated, influenced, or convinced to join something like the Bop House that will later impact you for the rest of your life. And we're going to get into that just a little bit later when it comes to the myths and truths of OnlyFans. So let's first start off with myth number 1 is that OnlyFans is easy money. You see these girls, you're like, oh my God, they have these nice cars, they have this beautiful house, they're making all of this money. That can be me too. It could, but 9 out of 10 times, it most likely will not be. The top creators on OnlyFans make the majority of income on OnlyFans, which means a large chunk of the people that are creating OnlyFans content are not making the big dollars like the Black Chynas are making, or the Mia Khalifas are making, or the Bad Babies are making, or the Sophie Rains are making. They're making the bulk of the income. I mean, it kind of sounds like our government and economy right now. No tea, no shade. But they're making all the money, so it makes it sound as if it's enticing, but you most likely will not be making the money that they're making. According to a 2023 report, the average creator on OnlyFans makes about $180 a month. I mean, that can be life-changing to some. That can pay a light bill and some utilities, but it's not the amount that the Sophie Rains are making, which is millions and millions of dollars, which so many girls believe that they too can make if they create an OnlyFans like the Sophie Rains and like the Camillas. And another big component is that the money is very much so not consistent. Subscriber rates can fluctuate. So you might have 100 subscribers this month, but the then next month you only have 60. So that means that you need to post consistently. You need to keep all your subscribers intrigued, which means a lot of marketing, high quality equipment, cameras, lighting, all of those things in order to keep a steady audience. And even when you have those, it's not guaranteed that you're going to maintain that audience. And with marketing yourself, that means that you are going to be plastered online. It's not just going to be on OnlyFans where you're going to be on. You will most likely have to post on Twitter and other platforms to promote yourself. And in order to get those big spenders or get a large number of subscribers, you probably will have to post yourself doing some explicit things in order to get that audience. And then lastly, I just want to say that, say you are a creator that makes a lot of money on OnlyFans. This money is not forever, but it sure lives with you forever in terms of your reputation. What you do at 18 can follow you up until you're 45, 46, 47. This quick cash grab can impact you for the rest of your life. You most likely, if you are a popular creator, will not be able to find a job after this. So if you don't want to do OnlyFans anymore, or if you have outgrown the demographic of what the majority of OnlyFans users want to see, you're gonna have to go get a job. And what is posted online lives forever and ever. So really contemplate and think about the decisions you make before you decide to post yourself online in an explicit manner. Once again, judgment-free zone. Do what you gotta do to pay them bills, but I promise you it could potentially bite you in the butt. So now let's specifically highlight some problematic OnlyFans models. And these ladies have been going viral for months now due to their very, very egregious and outrageous things that they're doing, not only in public, but with their bodies. Let's first start off with Lily Phillips. Lily Phillips, who was born on July 23rd, 2001, which means she is 23 years old, was born in Derbyshire, England. So she first began her OnlyFans career back in 2020 while she was attending the University of Sheffield. So while Lily was in school, she found herself progressively sleeping with a lot of men. These are her words, not mine, but what she considered to be a lot of men. She was basically living a very free-spirited lifestyle while she was in college. So in Lily's mind, she was like, well, since I'm already doing the do, I might as well make some money off of doing the do. So that led her to decide to monetize her doing the do, but on camera, and then she made her OnlyFans account. In her first month of creating OnlyFans, she made about an estimated 2,000 euros, which encouraged her to get deeper into the field of OnlyFans. And as of today, she has allegedly made over 2 million euros from her OnlyFans account. Lily has stated several times that her drive to create an OnlyFans wasn't because of money, because she came from money, so she never necessarily needed it. So she wanted to reclaim her power and capitalize off what she was already doing for free. So once again, not necessarily mad at it. If you like it, I love it. Good for you, great for you. But it wasn't until Lily started doing more and more outlandish things in recent months in order to promote her OnlyFans. And the one thing that broke headlines, even in her own country where she was on the news, is when she allegedly slept with over 100 men in one single day.
101 guys down. Guys 1, Lily 0, honestly. I'm f***ed, literally.
Right, so who am I with today?
Lily Phillips, aka England's biggest.
Jeez, right. Lily, what's the worst thing you think you've ever done in your life?
On Saturday,
This Saturday? Yeah.
I fucked 101 guys.
101 guys. I mean
that's pretty. I don't know if that's. I think it's a good thing. You might think it's a bad thing though.
That's crazy though, I can't lie.
Pretty round for
Yeah, I didn't expect that one, but yeah. Did you enjoy it?
Mate, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
14 hours of fucking.
14 hours of fucking.
Yeah.
Was you a bit sore down there?
You know what? I think my body was just made for fuck, that I wasn't really that sore.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice one.
What was more astounding was that Lily was acting so proud about doing this, okay? She seemed like this was something that she wanted to do. She seemed like she loved it. She wanted to do it again. And she was even talking about moving on and sleeping with now 1,000 men and breaking that world record.
I'm trying to be the first person to be with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. Now, this isn't an easy task, finding 1,000 people. So, women, if you can lend me your husbands for the day, that would be amazing.
So after Lily did this infamous deed, she was later in a documentary where we saw her break down in tears discussing her experience of doing that. You can see the human side of Lily when she was discussing this. It seemed as if her decision and choices really caught up to her, and I know we've all been there. I'm not saying specifically what Lily did, but when you're just doing something to feel liberated, or you're doing something because you see everybody else doing it, and then you sit back alone in your room and you're like, dang, that really just happened to me, or I really did this thing and I don't feel good about it. Take a look at Lily's interview.
I think sometimes like feeling so like robotic, like by I think like the 30th, you know, like when we're getting on a bit, I've got like a routine of like how we're gonna do this, and like it just, sometimes you'd like disassociate and be like, you know, like it's not like normal sex at all. In my head right now I can think of like 5, 6 guys, 10 guys that I remember, and that's it. But it's just, I don't know, it's just weird, isn't it? Like, if I didn't have the videos, I wouldn't have known I've done 100, you know? But yeah. I think that was kind of the hard part, is like conversing with them, and like when they'd kind of be like, oh, like we've only had 2 minutes or 3 minutes and you said 5 on the message.
Did someone say that to you?
Yeah. And obviously it just makes me feel so bad.
Do you think you should feel bad about that?
I guess when you've promised something to people who support you, it's kind of hard to let them down.
But it's up to you, right? Like when you know.
Yeah.
Have you even processed, do you think, what's happened?
Not yet. God, I won't forget this day, Jesus.
When I decided to start making this documentary, I wasn't too sure of what to expect. I certainly didn't expect to see Lily so upset at the end of it all.
So from that, a lot of people were like, okay, well, maybe she made this mistake and she's going to learn from this and she's going to grow from this. And, you know, judgment-free zone. Once again, you made a mistake. Maybe it's not a mistake that somebody else would make. But hey, we all have our own journeys. We all live our own lives, and we all have to go through our own consequences. But Lily bounced right back, and that's when she decided to talk about her now wanting to sleep with 1,000 men. And people were like, girl, weren't you just crying about sleeping with 100 men and how badly it made you feel? So we were confused. Like, what is going on?
Are you still planning to do what I've called the 1,000 man challenge?
The man challenge. Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah. So my assistant's currently going through the 5,000 applications we have. They'll be getting, honestly, as quick as possible in, out. I just want a conveyor belt. We're maybe thinking most, it'll be 17 hours.
So then not only that, Lily decided to make a video with stuff on her face, should I say, and it's not a facial, not the ideal facial I would want, or any of you guys would want, walking down the street proudly. Take a look at this.
You're in a walk.
There's like cars going by. I don't think anyone will notice. I think it looks like a bit like a face mask. Quite refreshing. Cross.
Now, she could be lying and doing this for views, or it could in fact be the truth, because there's a lot of footage that she posts herself that it indeed was what she claimed it to be. So if it was that, this is an example of predatory behavior that I was speaking on. That is gross. Why are you walking around with that? That is not something you walk around with in public, let alone in your own house. So to me, it just seemed like she was very much so attention seeking. She liked the attention, and she's very deeply wounded on the inside. There's no way you have parents and family members that love you and that encourage you to do things like this to this degree. And I am all about live your life, do what you want, your body, your choice. But something like 100 men in one day, let alone a lifetime, is definitely not the norm. And I don't want us to encourage it as if it is, and I don't want us to encourage it as if this is healthy. Sleeping with 100 strangers in one day is a no-no. That is not something that should be promoted to young girls, and that is not something that should be promoted to adult women. And there was a video she did with Candace Owens, who I know you guys all hate. You guys always have something to say when I put Candace Owens in my videos. Once again, I am not a Candace Owens super fan, but hey, if somebody says a good point and I agree with that one point, I'm gonna use it. So if y'all don't like it, I guess skip this part. But there was an interview she did, Lily did with Candace Owens, where Candace Owens actually seemingly had a heart-to-heart moment with her, and it seemed like Lily was actually listening. And this is why I think that Lily is doing stuff for attention or because the money is great. I don't think she's doing it for the love of the game. But take a look at this interview.
Why do you want to do 1,000 though? Like, what? Why?
I really want to set the world record.
It hasn't been broken in 20 years.
What the world record?
It's 919.
Who the hell is that girl? Who has that record? What the?
Lisa Sparks, she's like an ex-porn.
And where's she at now? Where is she? That's important.
She's married and got kids.
Whoa, Candace.
Uh-oh.
Sounds like it worked out for one person.
Uh-oh.
I have no question that she can have kids, and I have no question that she can get married. Like I said, there will be a guy many get married, and you read a lot about those relationships, and they don't tend to be the relationships that you want to be in.
Yeah, I found a love for bangs and doing really big group scenes. And so me and my assistant was talking, and I was like, I just looked up the world record because I was like, how cool would this be to do? Because obviously it's something that's kind of obviously never been done before. It'd be really unique content. It would also be giving, back to my supporters and stuff like that who have subscribed and, made my life how it is today. And so we talked about that back in August. And then we thought, you know what, instead of going straight for the 1,000, we'll do 100 to kind of see how that goes. And obviously we can learn and adjust things from the 100. Like there are some things that we wouldn't do on the day of the 100 that we would, there are some things that we wouldn't do on the day, there are some things that we did do on the day of the 100 that we wouldn't do on the 1,000, you know what I mean? Like it was a test run. And so, yeah, that's why then I was like, after the 100, I thought, all steam ahead, let's go for the 1,000. But what then would you suggest my mother does?
Try to talk you out of it. Like a mom is supposed to guide their children when they're doing decisions like that and say, listen, I understand you may think this is that, or you may think it's this way, but you're a beautiful young girl. You have your entire future ahead of you. You have two parents that love you. You could marry a man and raise children and have a happily ever after. Or you could be the girl who everyone knows, who can't have a child that goes to school without people making fun of them. I mean, imagine having a son and they say, like, your mom's on the internet, I watched her get by 100 men, or a daughter, something which is just like, it's so precious, that relationship between a mother and their daughter, like your mother should want to guide you in that way and say, like, this is the path that you could have. Like, your future could be amazing, and you're giving it up for, this is not, by the way, fame, it's infamy. You're establishing yourself as someone who's going to be infamous. It's going to pass so quickly. The money's going to be in your bank account, and then there's going to be the next girl trying to one-up it, and no one's going to care anymore. You're going to fade into irrelevancy, but you're never going to have a normal relationship, and that's what your mother should be telling you if she actually loves you.
So in this interview, it seemed like Lily was actually listening. Like, I can really see the humanness in her, and I hope that she's able to get the help she needs, whether that's therapy, whether that's her reconnecting with her family or reconnecting with herself, going on a spiritual journey, something of that sort, because it's clearly needed, and it looks as if she can get a breakthrough. I don't think anybody with a good mental health will willingly sleep with 100 strangers in one night and then say that they want to sleep with over 1,000 to break a record, but I hope she gets the help she needs if indeed it is because of mental health issues. So now let's discuss another OF creator who broke the record that Lily was assumingly trying to break as well, but Miss Bonnie beat her to it, and she caused even more controversy. Let's discuss Bonnie Blue. Bonnie Blue is a 25-year-old OnlyFans creator who has generated significant controversy due to her public statements and actions. Bonnie claims she became an OF model in order to create a better life for herself after working a typical office job.
Why did you start all of this?
Yeah. I just wanted a better life. I used to work an office job, 9 till 5, sit in rush hour, get given 20 days annual leave. And for a while, I'd accepted that. I was like, okay, this is what life is. This is as good as it can get. And then, when you start looking back on life thinking, am I going to get, when I'm in a care home and think, wow, I should have done something more. I shouldn't have cared about people's judgment. So I thought, no, I want to change that. I don't want to be scared what people are going to think about me. And I want to get freedom.
She said she first started off as a cam girl, and that she genuinely enjoyed. And that's what led her to transition to OnlyFans.
So I'd relocated to Australia at the time, had 2 years off. And then when it came to going back into an office, I was like, definitely not. Like, it's just not going to make me happy. So I started off camming online. So, just interacting with men, over a webcam. And I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed the interaction. It boosted my confidence. And I was having... I enjoyed pleasuring them. I enjoyed, having pleasure myself as well. So then it quickly escalated to OnlyFans, because in my eyes, if I was making content anyway to put on this, you know, can work website, I thought I might as well use a more established website like OnlyFans.
Today, Bonnie has claimed to have beaten the sleeping with over 1,000 men in a single day, but instead she did it in 12 hours. Take a look at this.
This is for you. Like, I don't want it to seem like, I don't know, intimidating. If you don't. I'm excited. I am going to do a world record of 1,000 men in 24 hours. If you don't turn up, they don't turn up.
This is what my face looks like after taking 1,000 men less than 12 hours ago.
The big 1,000 was completely done. So it started off, I'll give you a bit of an overview. Bangs after bangs to start with. It was just like, the room was absolutely full. Then we did groups of 5, like one after the other of 5s. I wanted to give people more time, so then it went down to like one-on-ones, didn't it? So like one person would watch whilst I was with somebody, and then it would literally just be like a rotating circle like
This
that.
leads to the numerous ethical and health issues that comes with giving your body to so many individuals. Now, if she indeed is telling the truth, that is an estimated 41 seconds per person, and we saw the aftermath. She showed the room, how it looked after she slept with all these men, and these men were literally lined up for her. And I just think that that is absolutely insane. I'm all for women feeling liberated, but it gets to a point where it just becomes absolutely absurd and problematic.
No, we'll just put your face in it. Bunny, okay. I'm just gonna give you the Just G beanie.
Oh, okay.
You're certified now.
Certified?
Yeah, put it on.
Oh, I can't, I mean, but then I'm...
No, the beanie is a hat.
Right, okay. It's alright then. Okay.
We'll hit it.
How did you find the shoot?
Bro, it was a blessing, it was an honor, and you know what, Bonnie, appreciate it, man, appreciate it. Hopefully we go for another one, but you know what, keep myself humble and sweet, so.
I did not expect her to be this filthy.
Did you not?
I thought it was all lies. But she proved me wrong, man.
How did you find your experience?
It was simply amazing. Yeah, I was worried at first. It's my first kind of thing, first time, and yeah, straightforward, it was quite smooth. Brilliant experience. I definitely recommend it.
So this was obviously her biggest form of controversy recently, but Bonnie has said some other questionable things that has led people to give her the side eye. Let's first start off with her numerous encounters with young men. Bonnie has publicly discussed having numerous encounters with young men, particularly college boys.
So I started going to events like Freshers, Spring Break, and there's one in Australia called Schoolies, which is a high volume of sort of 18-year-old people in, you know, I guess a small time frame. So I was like, if I could go and sleep with as many people as I could, not only do I educate those I sleep with, but also I get a video that can educate the wider audience. And obviously I can monetize off that. So it's when I sleep with students, or barely legal, as I've said and the media have said, it shows me discussing consent with them. It shows me saying to them, this is what I enjoy, this is what I don't enjoy. And it also gives them an opportunity to tell me what they like. And sort of, I guess, use me as a guinea pig. Trial what you like and what you want to do. So when you go to the next person, you know exactly how to pleasure them and, you know, how to receive pleasure as well.
She uses this as like a ploy to sell her content. And she even has content with her and Lily, the last woman that we spoke about, because Lily and Bonnie make content together sometimes, that they were looking for 18-year-old boys to be intimate with. This is incredibly predatory. Imagine a group of grown men. Now, I understand they're not that old. Like, these girls are 25 and 23 years old. But just imagine 2 grown men going on college campuses where there are 17 and 18-year-olds on. And yes, 17, because your girl here was 17 at college. I was 17 for 5 months in college, okay? Before I turned 18 my freshman year. So, yes, underage people can potentially be on campus too. But imagine them going on campus seeking for young girls to put in their content for their OnlyFans. Because if men did what these women did, we know they would be dragged for filth. Now, these ladies are getting dragged, but they're not getting the threats of going to jail and the threats of being publicly humiliated. No, men would get far, far worse, and we all know that's the case. And not only that, Bonnie does heavily use the barely legal phrase. I mean, she actually uses it quite a bit in a lot of her content. And she has once again been criticized for doing this so willingly.
You have a very specific niche, don't you?
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So, barely legal, 18-year-olds. Because as I started my content, I realized it was not necessarily relatable to the average person. And I wanted to make my content relatable. I'm just a girl, I'm relatable, I'm sort of the girl next door vibes. However, that does not portray online if I'm doing these rough, over-the-top scenes. And I want people to be able to watch my videos and be able to imagine themselves in it and, you know, connect with it. I think the issue
that people have with you specifically is it's the fact that you use terms like barely legal. You say that you're babysitting for kids, I think is the word.
No,
that
I've never used
Sorry,
babysitter.
babysitting for adults. You did in a podcast with Lottie Moss.
But it's like the barely legal, that's what the media gave me. And the media like to penalise
But you also
women.
now use that terminology. You also say that you're educating. But I'm wondering, who are you educating? Because a lot of your audience, especially on TikTok, are teenagers. What kind of messaging are you putting out there? Because also I've heard you use, say phrases such as women are lazy. If they're not going to give sex to their husbands, then those husbands, dads and barely legal teenagers have a right. Women are not the sexual property of men, and women don't exist to pleasure men.
The issue with Bonnie Blue is that she does not see the terrible image that she is spreading, and I don't think she really cares. Not saying that she has to care, but it definitely does speak about somebody's character when they continue to do things that are impacting an entire generation. And unfortunately, she is most likely okay with her behaviors because her parents are okay with her behaviors, and they've said it themselves publicly. Bonnie's mother has described herself cleaning up after Bonnie's multiple sexual innuendos. Take a look at this.
What was it like after cleaning up after bang?
Messy. Hundreds of condoms, boxer shorts, tops, stained bed sheets, wet bed sheets.
So even when you hear, you know, that she slept with 158 guys in 2 weeks.
It's just part of a job and that's it.
So you don't have any kind of, you know, emotional response to it?
At first I did, but not anymore.
Bonnie, when you told your parents what you do, how did that conversation go?
I actually didn't tell them. A video got leaked. I would have always told them. I'd only just started, so I wasn't ready to explain why I've chose to do this job.
I was gutted at first, I really was. It was shock, but it was just a shock because it's something I never thought she would do.
What has Bonnie achieved doing it in your eyes?
Well, where are you going next month?
Yeah, we're going on a really nice holiday.
So her making all that money, how has it affected you?
We've had nice holidays and nice gifts, but that doesn't bother me. She's happy, so I'm happy because she's happy. If she wasn't happy, but she's happy, she's safe, making lots of money.
What does your dad say about it?
Honestly, he loves it. Like, obviously he doesn't sit watching the videos, but like all my social media, my TikToks, he'll have a look at. And he's just proud seeing how happy I am, how much I've been able to support the family. And it's like, it's really changed my life and my family's life. I've got these stamps and it says like, I slept with Bonnie Blue, I want to sleep with Bonnie Blue and stuff. And I was practicing them on my dad, and my dad was like, I need to go to the pub after this. And he's got like stamps all up his arms to say he slept with his daughter.
It is horrible that Bonnie's parents are not stepping in order to save their daughter, because it's clear that she is going through a bunch of mental turmoil in order to grant so many men with the access of her body that they do not deserve. Instead, I'm sure they saw how much money this girl's making, because she said she's making a very pretty penny versus making sure that their daughter's mental health is okay. I mean, she said she made $3 million in 2024 alone, and it wasn't even the end of the year yet.
Can I ask you how much you've made in like a year off OnlyFans?
So this year it's already been over 3 million. So being a pays really well.
3 mil?
Yeah.
I'd hate to see your tax bill.
It makes me feel sick.
Yeah. 3 mil. Is this your best year you've had? Or
this is only my first proper year, so yeah.
No.
And once again, it is not normal to sleep with so many men in a singular day, let alone a singular week. Or should I say, let alone a singular lifetime. And Bonnie's actions, like I said earlier, about some of these creators having to face consequences to their actions. Bonnie has been banned from places like Australia and also Fiji for visa violations due to what she is doing in their continents and countries. So I can only wish Bonnie the best. She seems to really love the game versus Lily. Lily seems like that she is hurting from this a bit more. So if she loves it, I guess I like it. But my main concern is what she is displaying to young girls and how it is going to impact young girls and young boys as well. Now let's talk about Ezra Van Dan, who is a literal representation of how these creators, Bonnie and Lily, can influence other people to participate in the actions that they are displaying. So Ezra is a Turkish OnlyFans model whose OnlyFans led her to being locked up. So Ezra was detained by police after vowing to sleep with over 100 men in one day, allegedly because of the women that she saw online, more particularly probably Lily. So Ezra decided to make a post on her social media account saying that she wanted to sleep with 100 100 men in 24 hours. And she was very, very clear about what she wanted to do. She posted herself in a little red lingerie outfit, and she captioned that post with, "My goal is to break a Turkish record first, then a world record. I'm starting with 100 men in 24 hours. As I'm sure you can imagine, the post caught a lot of attention, and mind you, she's in Turkey, okay? She's not in America where you might be able to get away with that, but she's in Turkey, so they're a bit more strict when it comes to things like this. But her post quickly triggered a police investigation in Turkey. The Istanbul Security Branch Directorate's Morality Bureau launched an official probe, and they were not laughing about what she was doing. So Ezra was arrested at a hospital where she was waiting to get a cosmetic procedure done, and there was footage of police dragging her down the stairs with handcuffs around her wrists. But here's where her story gets even more crazy. While in custody with police, Ezra took it upon herself to post in a half-nude photo, and she claimed that it was a police officer that took that photo. And she even joked that the police officer did not mind. Now, the reason why this is such a huge deal, specifically in Turkey, is because Turkey banned OnlyFans back in 2023. So the fact that Ezra continued to post content, though it was illegal, is what shocks so much of the Turkish population. So for someone to publicly engage in this explicit form of content and then brag about breaking a record is considered not only inappropriate, but is considered a direct challenge to the societal norms of Turkey. So the Turkish courts charged Ezra with obscenity and accused her of being provocative to society. Some people even argue that this kind of behavior contributes to a culture where sexuality is commodified to extremes, often exploiting women for attention and profit. So Ezra has come out defending herself, saying in quote, "I'm not harming anyone." And she claims that she should indeed be free because she's not harming anybody. And though I do agree with her to a certain extent, when your country says this is against the law, you should most likely abide by that in order to avoid further problems. And this also leads to the bigger question of concern, which is, how are these women impacting younger audiences? And what is this going to do for younger women when they know that selling their bodies is so easily accessible and it can be looked at as another form of payment? So I just want to wrap this video up in a big shiny bow and just tell you guys what the downsides of creating an OnlyFans profile is. So for one, content leaks are very, very common. You may think, oh my God, well, I'm posting on OnlyFans, it's private, I'm just doing it for a quick check. No job's ever gonna see this because I use a fake name. Yeah, a lot of people's content gets leaked. There's literally websites out there available for you to look up creators' content for free. Whatever they post online, you can just search it up and it is up there. Every little thing that they thought they were hiding is on the internet. Nothing on the internet is 100% secure, and I think we all know that, especially us as a generation that has grown up in an internet sensationalized world. Of course, there's cyberbullying that can be involved, doxing, which is when people leak your information, and then of course stalking. A lot of OnlyFans creators talk about safety concerns because some of these men or women get so obsessed with them and their profile that they have online that they really believe they're in a relationship with them, and they do some crazy things in order to find out where exactly this person lives. So you're putting yourself at risk. And once again, I'm going to say a billion times, this can really affect you getting a job in the future. So I advise everybody to really think about what you're doing before you do it, okay? I get that it's a quick cash grab, but not all money is good money. The economy sucks, so a lot of people are going to do more and more outlandish things in order to make a living, but I think we really have to think before we do. And then lastly, you guys, I wanted to be clear, I am not bashing all OnlyFans creators. I'm speaking about the ones that are doing these problematic things. So if the shoe doesn't fit, don't try to force your foot into it. But you guys, that is the end of today's video. I, of course, want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on OnlyFans models? Do you think that OnlyFans should be banned in our country? Do you think that OnlyFans is problematic? Do you think OnlyFans is a good thing? Let's get the discussion going in the comments down below. Once again, thank you guys so much for your love and support. Remember, we're on the road to 300,000 subscribers, so please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And thank you guys so much again for the support. I love and appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you all in my very next video. Love you guys. Bye. Mwah.
Taking you in this moment, come get close like you own it. Read your aura, you want more of all this love, you'll be your name. Release all of